Game 3 for KT versus GenG. I will not be going into the exact draft specifics, but we can look at the comps. So we have a Yunara Lulu, which is not as common as you think, especially because, at the beginning of the split in year, like, she was just a menace. But now she's kind of fallen off more, and so we have her into... Alessandra is kind of obnoxious, but the rest of the champions she's playing against is not that bad for her. Like, her range is not the best, but she does have flexibility into these picks, so not the worst. Jarvan, it's fine, not like spectacular to be honest, but it's like fine. I mean, he's still an amazing champion as a jungler individually, but like for his usage, not as great. Victor, phenomenal. I mean, like, it definitely is a game where if BDD holds it down, they can win for sure. Renekton, again, Renekton Nara matchup's always very dependent on how both play it. Of course, like, the Renekton could just lose out, which would be pretty bad. Other times, like, he does like find opportunities to fight into Little Nar, and just like if he gets a kill or two, yeah, the Little Nar will have a ton of problems. And then the ball lane, yeah, like Xayah Rakan will definitely fight 2v2 head on to these guys. It's not like they just lose, because like they'll play this lane into Lucian, Emilio as well. But it's just fine. It's not like phenomenal unless like Renekton and Jarvan are just inting their faces off into Xayah. So yeah, it seems like a lot of this game is just gonna be heavily reliant on mid jungle by GenG, which they're just letting Lissandra kind of like do her own thing. They're not really doing a lot on mid, which does worry me. And then, I mean, if they can push off the Yunara, like, that would be amazing for KT. So let's...
He also, as much as you have the Xayah as like a late game carry, it's into Jarvan and Lulu. And if he just cataclysms you and then there's a wild growth as well to follow, that can be a tough time. Yeah. It's definitely not the easiest composition.
Let us get right into it.
Feeling pretty fan. 0-2 and make something happen. KT did so well in game number 1. Gonna need to replicate it.
So they're starting off with a level 1, like, super early invade on boss side for double wards.
The winner of this goes on to face T1 for the final ticket to Daejon and to MSI. That is why we call this tournament Road to MSI.
Really?
Yeah. Well, actually, shouldn't we have renamed it because it looked like it's a train track?
I mean, Jarvan's not like an OP Raptor stealer.
MSI was broad, so true. So you have to take a plane. Yeah, or a boat.
He also failed to get it.
It's voyage to MSI.
Yeah.
They kind of just wasted a whole bunch of time. And it's by going to his blue side, it's just individual camps, so not really a great start for him.
Yeah, this sounds a bit weird. I don't actually know what the clear definition.
And yeah, like, he needs to kind of continue doing his bot camps, so it leaves Canyon the option to go for his top camps. Maybe Canyon will skip the Krug, like the red, and go for he'll go for Krugs for sure. So this is bad. This is definitely really bad. He knows too. He's like, oh shit. And now he lost both. Wow. That was wow. Really great way for Cuzz to start this, huh? At least he gets the crowd. I don't know if he's actually gonna really try to mess with him on blue. He definitely could just accept the situation, just be like, well, I'll get 2 crabs out of this, right? And if you're Canyon, you're kind of just thinking of it as, well, I should just prioritize just like finishing my camps, right? Like, just keep the cycle going. I'll come out ahead a little bit by the end, but ooh, he guessed it too. Well played. He didn't lose as much on that situation, but like, yeah, like, interesting for Cuzz to go for that. It's like the most obvious thing to do, right, is to just aim for the crab. But he has a couple options on like Canyon's side that if he checks the Krugs, if Canyon isn't there, maybe he gets an advantage, right? And he does snipe it with the smite, right? I think that's what happened. I think he sniped it with smite. But he has to take that chance play. I think him going into the Raptors it's fine. It's just I highly doubt Canyon ever was gonna invade for it. Like, based on like what he was doing, it seems like they'd be quite a stretch.
When there's a threat of being ulted, whenever Chovy goes in. Canyon not quite there yet, but those two in unison will be a major threat.
Not to mention just Canyon showing up and then having a CC target to hit double daggers into. That feels like a lot of damage. Maybe not something that BD can handle.
It's always fun to watch how jungle is, like when like these little like interactions occur, because like you do need to make some pretty smart decisions. Otherwise, like, you will just get like, if like you make a mistake in some of this early pathing, like the game just explodes on your head.
moving over. Lulu has been one of his best picks.
So like they're all trying to be very careful to not allow an opportunity to lose a camp. In this case, like the Jarvan just naturally has like control of these like situations, and of course, like you can look at the mid CS, like this is like, so good for KT in a way. Like the junglers playing around each other. Sure, it's like annoying for Jarvan because like in the end of the day, for Jarvan, like he wants to make plays. Compared to the Fury, who's like a little bit more fine farming till 6. But at the same time, it does leave mid more isolated. So then also Nefiri isn't like Nefiri's making any choices on mid. And so Lissandras is kind of quietly going down CS, which is great for like your main win con, which is Victor, right? So I think these guys are okay with how everything's gone now.
Chovy can have Chloe's way out, and we'll be able to do so. Obviously, Lissandra not exactly picked for her prowess in the lane phase.
If I'm Cuzz, like, I'm definitely okay with it. Like, yeah, him getting sniped, the Raptors getting sniped away from him, that kind of sucks, but he does have access to the bot grab, so also, again, pretty happy about that. Notice the Renekton is going up. Like, again, where I said, like, yes, the Gnar has the ability to beat Renekton, but, you know, when you get to these higher levels where, like, Renekton's being really good, like, they will find opportunities to pressure the Gnar. It's just until later on, like, where the Gnar just starts getting, like, he gets tabbies, he gets more levels, where, like, his Q's doing more damage. He has, like, the passive, like, damage with his, like, W and little mini Gnar. It's, yeah, like, the Renekton kind of just starts falling off. For now, he's definitely kind of key. And like I haven't talked as much about like what like strategy is doing on the game since like kind of the early jungle decisions, because like he took the crab, and again like he's very present on like what's coming up. So like the grubs are coming up, right? Let's go. Okay, like can I contest this? Like my Lulu's coming forward, my Victor doesn't really have pressure. They kind of force a fight on Chovy, which now gives them the leverage to kind of go for the grubs. So like they really lean on like the solo laners outperforming to gain that, and then he's kind of just going to finish out his top side camps. Maybe he'll go into his bot side camps, but like he'll most likely just finish his top side camps and hopefully have his item, like Sundered Sky, and if he has Sundered Sky, then he can start playing more aggro.
Absolutely. I feel like that's the thing.
And then bot lane has just been left alone, and they're just both playing like perfect wave situations, like going for the perfect phase. We finally have a mid play, which is like, holy shit, finally, right? Like, they know Lulu's on bot side, and Rakan cheated a base, so they're playing on this little look, and BDD's like, I mean, obviously it's the first time BDD's had to, like, deal with this, but he didn't even flash, like, they had Lulu in time for that spot, so that's pretty amazing. I mean, the fact that Victor did not lose his sums in that situation, yeah, I mean, like, they can't make a replay. They can't replay that situation and actually come out on top. Like a guaranteed come out on top.
Gets the Featherstorm out of Rula, yet another big cooldown. He's not going to be there for the Dragon fight in 40 seconds time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the ultimates, the 3 bins onto BDD should be up and available in time, but Rula certainly will not, and that really makes you wonder if they can confidence go for a fight around it.
And he's still playing just as aggro too, which is obnoxious. Like, he's just in Lissandra's face. But so Nefiri's R is back up, so like, again, like, there is an opportunity to look for something, but if supports are going to show on mid, then that's going to draw obvious attention, so like the chance of getting a play is negated. It's not like KT has to push into drags either. Like, it's good, right? It's obviously it's always good to push in for drags, but it's definitely not required. And like Rakan is doing some funny shit, but he's very clearly behind Yunar, and he's like, Yunar's baiting. But it kind of sucks that Yunar, does she really have to burn her flash? I don't think so.
Aiming and rule of 5.
I mean, because like the feathers are not exactly aligned, and if Lulu needs to flash to make like to stop this play, that's fine. I'm just kind of surprised he ended up flashing. It's like now there's like an avenue to play on.
He's gonna stick around. Aiden's a great target now. No flash, no walls. Yeah, he can just go in, root himself, he's fine.
And using Renekton TP to secure this drag, I mean, I guess like I guess nothing really gets dropped in the end. Like they're swapping the Yunar on top too. So yeah, I guess all is well.
Well, Rule has a decent advantage as far as money and plates are concerned, has actually taken one towards that bottom side, aiming now, parking himself in the top lane as we do see Cuzz looking for an angle towards Canyon, Kane, and Duro. Aiming is rotating around now. That is Duro getting over that polymorph. Doesn't really do too much though, as he's already made it out. So KT just trying to
This is such a different game from the other ones. The other two games had a lot more going on for like early action. But this one is definitely more steady and true.
Yeah. Also very difficult to ever really pressure him as a connector, so Cuzz trying to be annoying right now.
I mean, they always have like kind of access for getting the top push over the Gnar. And like the Renekton can take damage from the Lissandra, but like typically, yeah, he can kind of just like E in and pressure her and then dip. So like he technically can always get pushed over her, but he does no TV. And they're both just chilling until drag. Or not drag, Herald.
And you pop your ultimate, it instantly gets cleansed. It's gonna feel way worse for Chovy.
Oh, there is the frozen turn. Fortunately, we don't want to work here. Canyon comes over, ults for the finish. As Perfect does get himself back there with the
that is one thing though. Okay, that was pretty smart by them because
so a big thing in this game is
it's very clear that like KT's like thinking about like because they're not swapping the Yunar into mid, right? So Yunar's not going into mid, which makes you think like, okay, like are they're just playing for Herald then? Like they're definitely not coming back bot. And so like they start sneaking the Rakan and the Yunara, or not Rakan and the Nefiri into bot to get a quick pick. Obviously they're gonna lose Herald, right? Like that's a guarantee. Of course, like the Gnar ends up having to sack top because like he just has to. But it breaks the cycle, which is super important for GenG, like because their solos are steadily losing. So they need to find a way to get something going. Doesn't matter what it is, they just need to find something to get going. And so at this point, like now they have the opportunity where it's like, okay, we just made a play on bot. Most likely, KT will swing into bot and retake it. That would make the most sense. We have the option to go top ourselves. It'd be basically in the Fury, like, hovering through lane on top. And it would be like, that would be their surprise play, which is doable. Like, it for sure is doable to go about it that way. Like, if we see Rakan coming from, like, lane, like, he would basically just be hiding behind and just waiting. Granted, it would be kind of a bit of a waste of time. You know, like, it takes the Gnar a little bit to do this kind of thing. But the Renekton would be surprised by the play. But they're not doing that. They're playing back into their, like, the fog of war that KT has. And they're just taking it slow. And I think it's because the Gnar wanted to try this. Like, that makes sense. Like, the Gnar didn't have his item yet, so he's deciding to just wait. Like, hey guys, like, you know, we could do this play, but it'd be better if we waited till I have Triforce. Dragon's also coming in a minute, so like just kind of stabilize the vision on bot side, and like I'll be fine. Like I think that's what Keen is saying. He's like, I'm gonna be okay. I don't need like this kind of help.
That's the big thing. All summoners are available apart from Keen's Flash, and for GenG, getting on these key backliners, the Victor and the Yara are super important. So
now this will be interesting though because they're both fighting for bot vision, which yeah, again, it's revealing KT. No, he's not gonna go for it. So I was gonna say, I'm curious if like Canyon's gonna try to fish on top side for something, but he's not. He wants to buy and get his BC. So like every time there's like an opportunity where maybe they could go for a play, it's kind of in a situation where they're just like, well, we could do it, but we have an item coming up. Like, I want to base for my item, and then we'll play on that. So they're just thinking about the drag. You know, they're not thinking about any kind of crossplay, especially because it's drag 3, I guess, because like they don't want to go down 3 drags. They want to at least have some control.
Cuzz now just going to be throwing flags around.
I mean,
feathers down now. A lot of pounds on.
I'm kind of curious what Jarvan should do here. Because, like, for Jarvan, playing on mid is, like, fine. I mean, the Yunara can obviously always flex into Xayah, and I think actually getting the Xayah R would be very beneficial for with the Yunara R. So, like, they haven't found a way to flex on mid, which is entirely on aiming, right? Like, it's all on aiming to do this.
To remove this control ward that has been holding a lot of power for KT, being able to slink between.
They'll flex on mid. Despite Jarvan being, despite seeing, oh, is that a ward over the wall?
That has been holding a lot of power for KT, being able to slink.
So if you look at the vision, it looks like there's a ward down here on the minimap. See here, boop. It looks like there's a ward on that circle. Which, if they identify that Fury's going through bot, he should just go. Like, they should just run at this guy and just make him force off, like fully. That would be the smartest thing to do once they see Nefiri do this. Because if this guy gets shoved out, and now like he has to start, like maybe he uses Czar, maybe the Rakan has to expose himself, maybe they have to start catching from here. Now you're good. Now they can actually play this like the way they want to play it. But instead, they're letting Xayah like almost catch this wave in a similar spot, which is like not acceptable. And then the Victor obviously cannot contest bot alone because, yeah, I mean, the Hozigan is just going to die. So Victor is now late to catch. No change happened on mid. Lissandra moves in, which pushes everyone out. Now they all have to move out of this spot, and that's because they're not using this advantage at all. This is just a giant question mark for me. Like, they're doing literally nothing. So nothing's being accomplished on KT's side. They lose the crab, and only then, after losing the crab and Victor moves over, they're like, okay, let's go. So he ultis and gets 3 people. Now, keep in mind, like, of course these guys can flash out. The Lissandra can sit and stand. Ruler is technically alone, so the most logical thing to do, because like what he's gonna do is he's gonna fist fight this guy. If he tries to fist fight them, he tries to like fight them, right, to try to kill them all. That could be a problem. Like that could turn out really bad. Which means that most likely he's either having to fight to counteract this, or he's just rolling out this way, trying to DPS them this way. Except there's really nothing to do. Honestly, looking at it, it looks like these guys are all gonna get out of this situation. And you kind of just lose it. I don't know. It doesn't really look that great. I mean, Lulu's not even like ready to use her R.
Does get the circle down there.
So, oh, he did. Oh wow, the range is a lot higher than I remembered. So the Lulu got his R off, but notice again, what is Ruler doing? He's fist fighting Amy. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. So Amy gets forced off, which. Again, to me, I feel like at this point, it would have made sense for him to just fight Ruler. I don't know if he's afraid that he's going to get, like, Nefiri-A'd, but there's no... Like, they don't need to Lulu-R the Jarvan. Just let them sit in that zone, let Victor come up, and I guarantee you, the second Victor presses R and, like, W, they're going to run. They're not going to stay and fight this. They're going to run. Like, there's no way they're going to, like, try to flash forward and go on him, because like the Lulu is the this is the defining pick. He defines the fight fully. Effort. And so as long as he plays it correctly, they win this. For sure, they actually probably can win this due to what's happening. They just have to like find the right way of going about it, right?
Let's get the circle down there. The cataclysm.
So they lost basically nothing. And they lost Luluar. This guy got shoved out. They're now getting moved out this way. Canyon goes in, which I don't know about.
GenG's health bar is just going lower and lower as there is the feather.
They actually played that so much worse than I thought they would. Like, there was... I get why the Rakan Charm comes out, right? I get why the Rakan Charm comes out, but they don't have to go back in. Like, there's actually no reason for them to just all in yet. Like, at this point, they have access to mid-wave again, and these guys have no Jarvan-R, no Luluar. If they just let it be, everything's chill. But they kind of, they just randomly send it, like, and nobody's ready to kind of, like, fully follow up. And so it turns out pretty bad. So, clearly it's enough. As much as KT, like, slightly botched that situation to be better, like, it could have been better than it was. They actually got the drag. Dude, what the hell was happening? What? It's like, to me, at this point, these guys got kind of screwed, right? It's a battle hero. So Jarvan can't go in that.
They're trying to contest in that passage of play, but
oh, I see. Victor TP'd to the bot wave, which created separation, which gave them the leverage to actually walk in despite Chovy not being like the best conditions. And like Chovy almost dies with this. Maybe he still dies, who knows? But that was actually the main reason why they got that. Is because BDD TP'd for bot.
hero, and he does
And they
Chovy,
do,
but Duro dies in the
I mean,
process.
Now, King Canyon looking though.
Here does get someone, I guess, but that drag is pretty pivotal. And since BDD went so far, the Heat also gets picked apart. And if you look at Renekton, dude, Renekton's not even helping this guy. Yeah, I mean, it's just because Victor went so deep. I mean, like, Renekton never had any, like, reason to go for this, and, like, the TP was perfect for Keen, right? Like, I mean, Keen literally had the wave shoved out top. There's nothing to be lost. So that's a hell of a turnaround. That's a really good turnaround.
Smite comes through, and GenG just disengaged. BDD trying to kill Chovy here. Duro goes for the heal, and then shields.
Oh no, he aiming face check as, you know, trying to press ult barrier and stuff like that, get stuff out of the way. There's a reset Canyon.
That's an interesting situation to occur.
BDD trying to kill Chovy here. Duro goes for the heal, and then shield.
Nobody's on the map, and it looks like they just opened into that area. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, it looks like they just opened that area, and I
mean, at this point, with the Cyclo Sword, Black Cleaver,
mean, the Yunar has not been very good.
Like 3 seconds.
Like, they've gotten like no value on this Yunar.
He's so strong right now, and if he targets BD, and they go down, I feel like KT's chances of winning a fight just plummet.
Already looking worrying here is the flash out from Ruler.
He's got a flash for 3 by Ruler.
Yeah, good summon to bin.
I guess. Okay, he just dies. What's happening?
But whatever it is, it's not.
I dropped my candy. I dropped my candy in that project.
What is actually happening?
Going to be out of the way out here. That is going to be the tower falling down in mid lane, and the whole map opening up for GenG. Going to be the.
I feel like KT chances.
Like, seriously, if you look from the standpoint,
he's so strong right now.
like, they just killed Amy, right? They just killed Amy. They're obviously going for the top crab. Like, they just got a flash on mid. Lulu decides to enter the river alone, despite Jarvan going into bot, and just really dies for no reason. Which, now Lissandra's like, okay, well, like, I just shoved out bot. Lulu's dead, so we can definitely pressure a mid dive, which is what they're thinking, right? Let's pressure a mid dive. Look for a play. Oh, these guys respond to me. Not a big deal. Nara had his free time on top. We get to catch mid high again. Like, so they're super happy. Like, they're in a prime position to do all this different stuff. Like, not really sure why he's trying to go for this play, but like, sure, like, you're not that strong. I mean, like, you're literally proto belt plus like Blackfire. Like, it's pretty terrible combo. All in all to be said, like, not a very amazing combo, but sure, like, he has that. The Victor, like, don't think he should go proto belt either. Like, he is the main carry. Like, he should definitely be doing something that allows him to, like, just pump, and he didn't. He has, like, double defensive, like, options. And we look at Canyon, like, he's definitely looking through side, which is great. I mean, like, he is super, like, he's very strong. It makes sense to look for side plays. These guys don't have the most mid control either, so like they're like, okay, like Khan's showing, let's clear some vision together. And like they find this guy, so like that's why like they're a little bit off to the races to chase him down. He's dead. Oh, okay, I guess he's literally just dying. Cause like I'm fine for him looking at this initially, but like once they start like scoping this out, like why did Canyon never move him with this? Wow. Don't really know.
And then you die.
Yeah, because you were at the end of Cuzz.
This happened yesterday as well.
Yeah, Cuzz are a difficult part of the map yesterday.
Specifically at Road to MSI, Cuzz are a focal point. And it feels like they're buffed.
Yeah.
We had that last year as well.
So fantastic that in the final series we had the Krug Lord waiting.
Oh yeah.
But yesterday it did feel a little bit like when he was trying to steal his title. Chovy goes out that wave, and will be now going back to see how close to the Imperial mandate he is. But 2 seconds on this.
I mean, like, Xayah is the play, right? Like, Xayah is the play, no flash, but she has her R. I'm trying to look at this, the items. I mean, the Jarvan doesn't even have 2 items, man. Like, he is, like, falling behind.
Dragon, another soul point attempt for KT.
Oh, he went straight.
They're just playing off Victor code at this point.
I'll see whether he can find it. Aiming on this dragon, charging up that Q quite nicely.
Oh, they're really letting Keen just, like, walk in with no...
Is Keen
fuck's given.
He's got the Mega
Dude, he is.
kind of working out
Dude,
for
how did
him
they
as
just
the
let him get?
Arcane Storm
Wait,
goes
this
down onto
is
Chovy.
not terrible. Like
Cataclysm
Keen's like
with
it's
the
such a
claw.
major.
Manages to get him out of there. And now the quickness
Keen
has
is
come on
kinda
through.
selling.
Dura looking for a bit of an angle, but he's very squishy. Gets knocked up. Perfect. Makes it into the back line. And
Keen
down goes
kind of sold it because like I'm thinking to myself
kinda
like
working out for him as the Arcane Storm goes down
I'm like
on
okay, you push out the Lissandra, but she does have flash, right? Technically,
Keen.
if Chovy
He's
wanted
got the
to,
Mega Naba kinda
like for
working
how
out
this
for him as
situation's
the
panning
Arcane Storm
out, like
goes
when this
down
guy
onto
ultis on top
Chovy.
of him, he could just R. I mean, like,
Cataclysm. He's got the
unless
Mega
they are
Naba
shoving
kinda
them out
working for
entirely.
him as the Arcane Storm goes down nicely as Keen. He's got the Mega Naba kind of working out for him as the Arcane Storm goes down onto Chovy. He's got the Mega Naba kind of working out for him as the
Okay,
Arcane
I
Storm
see what could happen. So Canyon could jump over the drag pit, and with Keen here, they could try to isolate and play into Aiming. And Aiming has two choices, and the most obvious choice is he needs to join his team. So everyone's gonna get pulled down to join that. In which case, then Ruler is gonna come re-approach. Chovy will re-approach. Rakan will re-approach. But it's probably up to Duro to just like play in this vicinity, not like actually fully join them. Because if he does that, it kind of him leaving is not the best.
Chovy, Cataclysm, but the claw
But he is taking the. I guess he didn't leave. I guess he did stay. I thought he joined them. So he gets played on. And Canyon does go over, but like again, I think he should have already been over. And I think if you're Keen, he's probably supposed to backtrack into Cuzz now, and they're supposed to just kill Cuzz. I don't think he's actually supposed to go on to Aiming this way, the way he's doing it, which kind of sells it. But they do get it. And if you look at what Chovy does, Chovy's like, okay, Keen, he's absolutely useless now. Like he's bait, right? Like basically to them, he's bait. They're gonna all run towards him, like let's kill him. Like we have a kill. Like go for Nar. Technically, what BDD is supposed to do here is BDD is supposed to now play the zone. Like this is BDD is now in charge of fighting 3v1 as they go and clean out this guy, right? Like that is his job, is the 3v1. How does he do it? For one, his W is. What is he oh, he places it because of Lissandra E. Okay, I mean, that's completely fair. Like, yeah, that's pretty fair. You know what? Or is it? You know what? I actually think he's supposed to not do that still. Because think of it this way. If Lissandra presses ER, I don't know if Lulu has... I haven't been paying attention. If she has Mikhail's, there's no issue. If she has W, she just like flash W's this guy. And he will live because he has Mercs, right? Like he has Mercs. So I think he has to take the risk of that not happening. Then he can W like Ruler, Chovy, like or like he could like W this area, which will look a lot better. And like Ruler's job is to now like again he's to push, right? But they kill this guy, and then look what Chovy does. Because Chovy then Chovy plays this so well because not only did Chovy pressure BDD to consider not to like test him, so BDD failed the test. Then Chovy's like, okay, I need to buy space because Nar was our space creator. He's gone. I'm in charge. Like Rakan has literally nothing, so he just goes in and just R's. And like despite whatever happens, maybe he dies, maybe he doesn't. But his whole main goal is to just create space so his team can contest and maybe get the drag, which is what I mean. It works. And obviously now, like, yeah, he's using a whole bunch to get out of here. Like, Ruler kind of like ints it up, and he ends up dying. And like, Ruler doesn't have to die. Like, does Chovy have to die? Maybe Chovy would have died, but like, also the only reason why he probably dies is because like, again, Ruler inted it up. Because like, if Ruler ulties towards them, they're never walking in, right? So that would have been a one death for the drag.
KT are closing in.
Which would have been pretty well played.
And BDD may have just opened the door to a Baron attempt for KT.
A critical error from Ruler. The Featherstorm in the wrong direction allows KT to chase, to approach with no threat, and they manage to clear the kills. Now look at Canyon, they can deny him. The Baron is free. They get some good poke down on BDD. Is that enough? Is that enough to ward them away from the objective? Or are they just going to TP back in with full health bars? That's the question. Oh, I think they back off.
All right, let's have a look at this fight one more time.
So Keen's on the cusp of Mega Gnar, and he's ready to go with this. We initially get a Cataclysm onto Chovy, feels like a weird target priority. Keen jumps in, and then just gets shredded down. After he goes for the ultimate, he gets focused down after that. Chovy then securing the dragon and buying a ton of time here. Basically allows him to pull up a heist. He can disengage out of this with his flash, but then Ruler here ends up ulting the wrong way. I think he was just trying to respond to potential flash polymorph from effort, but the fact it's the wrong way means look at the positioning of both KT. They're running forward to where the feathers were being. They cannot
now we're getting
into
some very interesting fights.
Now KT
Definitely getting into some
They do have
interesting
positional
fights.
advantage around the area as that ward is going to get swept. Water reminder is now completed. Third item done for Ruler. But there is, oh man, we are so close to an Infinity Edge. I think Aiming has it as he is going to go back to base now. So there is the IE. 3 items apiece for both our carries, but it does feel like Aiming does so much if he could ever actually hit squishies. And everyone is kind of a squishy on GenG's side. So it feels very good for the Yunara at this point in the game. And I do feel like Aiming has been probably one of our most, if not the most successful Yunara players.
Hey, if there's only no flash on the solos for GenG, which is like them being more of the mobile carries, like not a big deal. Lulu not having no flash is a little spooky for her. I mean, she can definitely get caught out.
3 items now completed for BDD as well.
Oh, I hate the Victor's build. I hate it. Don't get me wrong, he's tanky. Like he can side lane because of what he did, without necessarily getting cover. But I just don't care for it.
It's not a defensive item, it's just a fun defensive attack. Canyon can have to play some fun defense to get out of there, and does do that. Goes up into the sky and escapes.
He's just not gonna pump in like these actual big fights.
Would you say that's a pure defensive item? No, exactly. Some 5k, a bit more fun. Does also do some damage. That is going to be a steal here for Canyon. Oh, Sin on top of Cuzz. Perfect is there. Trying to play
Did a lot of damage to that guy. And notice GenG are like really on top of fighting these guys around mid. Like, so Sanjay got a hard shove top, right? Like, look at this. Like, Victor's rotating mid. So he's rotating mid. Jarvan's with them. They're shoving this out. Yunara's like in the river randomly. Don't really get that. But at this point, they're supposed to lean into top side after this push. And cut the Lissandra off from ever touching that top wave, right? Like, the goal should be we're 4-stack here. We shove them. We run here. We catch this. We get vision. Like this guy resets. And then, like, we just kind of, like, played in a way where they have, like, advantage in vision. That's their goal. But the Yunara is not there. And it's like, they don't feel like they can just run straight through top on time. So, and, like, Victor also wants a base for an item. So, it's weird because it's like, we're not getting the vision top. Like, the easiest thing to kind of do is, like, Victor, like, fog bases on top side, so it makes you think that maybe they're doing that. And he still accomplishes his goal, right? It's just, you don't lose as much. But since they did give this up and Victor shows top, like, yeah, like, they're now pressuring the Raptors area. So they're messing with KT, and they're successful. And now they're like, oh, but by the way, the blue is up. So, like, let's shift around instead of planting ourselves on top side and pressure them again. And the Jarvan is late for having people to help him, because the Victor was topside. So now, like, they're using, like, kind of the ulti to just shove them out more. Drags in a minute, so they're going to establish some very good vision. And then they're just going to reset and replay it. And now at this point, that means, like, KT has to consider, shit, are we supposed to, like, pressure the Baron? Like, is that what we're supposed to do? And technically, you know, if GenG are thinking about it, they could do that. I mean, they end up pinking it just to make sure, like, that's not, like, KT's not going to try to lean into that play. But, like, the Gnar has a flank. I guess the Gnar is going to semi-lose his flank.
They also have the irremovable vision here from the Rescuer that now just dissipates. He's just playing on mid lane. Just have TP, he's a little late. They do start this one out with Canyon bounce. That wall came in a great Naba position right now.
Oh, dude. Honestly, the way GenG has this set up is just so much better than KT. Because if you look how this goes, like, look how obnoxious this is. So they need to be pulling this drag, like, now. Like, them trying to lean over and fight these guys off is a bait. That is a complete bait. Because, like, the Gnar already has access to the wave. So the Gnar is always going to have a flank on you, right? By not starting this, it gives Lissandra time to now do this. And so you did not stop this. And now your access of points are basically, this is pain. This is pain. This is pain. And so you're kind of just like in a, it's just, you're just screwed, right? Like, it's just a really screwed up situation for you to fight in. It's like the best hope they have at that point is to just send it, like, send it somewhere, right? But like they can't send it on the Lissandra. I mean, she has Zonias and R, so like she's gonna buy way too much time. So this is like no go. So now your send-its are on the Gnar or the bot side. But again, it's Xayah, so it's like, okay, if we full send it and she kind of plays it well, we might get screwed as well. So they're in it's a weird predicament that they put themselves in. We'll see how they play it, but like this is not a good spot for them. Like Victor's trying to solo pressure the entire enemy comp. Unlikely. Now let's see it play out.
As Chovy still biding his time, hasn't committed to.
Now they're like, oh shit, we're giving the mid wave over. Like we kind of lean to that, and now look at where they are. Effort is literally trying to zone the Lissandra on his own, and naturally, like he's already like losing a whole bunch of life. They end up losing the dragon anyways, and then they fall into the bait. But it actually ends up pretty bad. I think it's because Chovy commits. Because like if you look at this, here's the first thing I gotta say. You know, when Chovy goes in, so look, Chovy is supposed to press his W here, or his E here. He's supposed to E here. He's supposed to then just sling it, literally just sling it. Like if he really wants to, like he probably has to like R the Lulu right away or something. He also could just walk. Like, I guess the only problem with this play is that there's like a Mikhail's. And so, like, what happens if the Lissandra, if like this guy Mikhail's and then CC's the Lissandra before he can use his abilities, then he decides, right? So maybe the best choice is that he's just supposed to walk it. Or even just like kind of play like in this zone and then just like maybe like flash R. Maybe that's how he's supposed to like flash R. That way it's a lot less reactive for the Lulu to play on. And she would die. Like, she would definitely just, like, die to the damage. And that could be an avenue. In which case, if that's how they're playing, then Gnar needs to just go in now. And Canyon just needs to kind of, like, latch onto this guy. And, like, he's going to EQ away and try to R the Lissandra and just dip. But like going in the way he did, like I see the angle he's thinking of, right? Like he's thinking of bursting the Jarvan. So like they're trying to create a quick flip. But I feel like that's just a little much. And like Cuzz played it well. So like Cuzz played it pretty well. And some of these guys are in like the death zone of like Victor.
Away, flashes out, but it's the Lulu that goes down first. Aiming, trying his best to get this damage down as he dashes in on top of Keen.
Holy shit, they still won. Wonder if my idea is not good.
And KT, they still have beaten either.
Or did KT just play it bad for how it went? Because he's stuck right now. And like, Canyon is also in a weird spot. So like, what is Perfect doing? Okay, I don't know why Perfect decided to use his Q that way. Like, I literally do not understand why. He just uses W. 30-20. Max rank W. Well, it's not max rank. It's like rank 4, right? So 10 seconds plus probably has at least like 40 ability haste. So it's been like what, 2 seconds?
Now the predominance here from Puff.
21. He did it at 21.
At least for the moment, as
it's up. Yeah, so he has his W. He for sure has his W up at this point, which like, there's no point on him to flash, which means that technically, if he wanted to, I guess he's selling it. Is he selling it though? Because like here, imagine if he had it. This guy would have been stunned for 1 more second, and he's dead. Canyon's actually dead here, straight up, if he didn't use his Q. Shit, that's kind of obnoxious. And like, if I'm looking at aiming, it actually makes no... By the way, this is no sense play. Why? Why would you kite yourself above? Just kite yourself below. I mean, like, at this point, he could have flash killed this guy, too. Like, I assume he has his bolt, like, he has his E, and he has his flash. So Aiming is selling this fight big time. Like, he's supposed to just stand here, auto DPS the Gnar. He's gonna try to flash for you. You're gonna flash away, and this is done. Like, this fight looks so bad for GenG if like the Gnar is playing this better. But instead, what we see what happens is, for one, so he's above, right? So he's playing above. They can't kill Canyon, which he should die. He gets knocked over. He has a timer to flash when he first gets Gnar'd. Like, there is an opportunity for him to literally flash. Doesn't flash it, so he gets stunned. And he does press his E, right? Like, he does get his E off, I guess. So, like, he does create separation. And so, naturally, like, they want to go kill this guy. The Victor has to give some space. And I will admit, like, Duro is playing this well. I mean, like, Duro's like, okay, you guys are useless on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and cover these guys on the right. Meanwhile, Ruler's like, okay, maybe I try to kill this guy. Like, he's kind of free. The Renekton.
Down first, Aiming trying his best to get this damage down as he dashes in on the Salute. He was free hitting, he gets ulted by Keen and then just dashes away, flashes out, but it's Salulu that goes down first. Aiming trying
I don't know.
Just dashes for Cuzz, but now the AoE flies forward. Aiming was free hitting, he gets ulted by Keen and then just dashes away.
At this point, it's so obnoxious, like, because they should have won this fight so well. They should have won this fight in the beginning so well. And again, I do think, like, positioning in which Aiming placed himself, because imagine also, let's say he still got hit by the Gnar and he was here. Like, the Gnar, like, pushed him out this way. BDD gets to play. He's still here and he can play for everyone because he's right in the middle of it. He created so much separation that he made his soul laners, specifically BDD, useless for this fight. So, this guy made a mistake. Keen punishes it. He gets the stun even, so the DPS drops. So, like, again, Aiming played this terribly. Then the Recon does a beautiful play. Then the Chovy goes in, a beautiful play. So now you have, like, the Lulu passive that's going to do a bunch of damage. And he's buying time. The Gnar walks back in to kind of give some, like, pressure. Chovy comes back in, more pressure. Ruler, who was left untouched this entire time, because, like, you know, once he starts DPSing perfect and now he's walking around Victor's like, oh, like, I can't fist fight this guy, like. But here's the thing, he has to, he literally has to. If he doesn't, Aiming dies. So he kind of waited too long, so BDD waited too long to go for that, which then exposed Yunara to Ruler, and that's all she wrote. That was such a well-played fight. In some ways, dude, I mean, like, it was a terrible start by GenG, right? But, like, the team itself, like, outside of Canyon, really brought that fight together. Like, Keen, Chovy, Ruler, Duro, like, all four of them really brought that back. So, like, well played to them. Like, that was a great team effort.
Let's see what KT can make something happen now, as they have moved to a pretty considerable deficit, and that is Mountain Soul.
They got the drag. They won the fight. Like, damn. Like,
I think everyone's a tank now.
Yeah.
So never mind.
And he has a QSS and 105 magic resist. The mountains plus that. 131
it's just impressive. Like, I mean, like, that's all it is. It's just impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
So definitely getting a lot of value. You're also buying the new buff, Knight's Vow.
Yeah, as is already. That's right, Chovy. Very safe as Alessandra. You just claw your way out of almost any situation.
And right now, KT in a delicate spot because Aiming no flash. Ruler still has his. You can't just cataclysm the enemy's ire, and Aiming can definitely be a focused target.
He doesn't quite have his last whisper item completed just yet.
Yeah, Ruler with 133 armor with just plated steel caps is a little bit insane.
Yeah, Chovy with 160 as well himself, so feeling pretty good about that one. Canyon can also try and start up this Baron by the looks of things, and yeah, there are feathers being thrown out.
Oh, at this point,
my goodness, they do a lot of damage. Cuzz wagon dragging towards Duro. There's Chovy now holding Perfect in place. Will be against out of there. F is moving over. Does have the polymorph in hand.
I mean, the Victor is still a monster. What the hell just happened?
Insane.
Yeah, Chovy with 160 as well.
The Victor is still a monster. Lissandra's playing in Renekton's face. He's like, yeah, like, Renekton can't really do anything to this. And, like, there are just too many in the Baron, so, like, they're creating pressure, which then results in Lissandra saying, like, okay, well, we're gonna pull off this Oiz, so now I'm gonna start messing with the Renekton support, right? And then KT's like, oh wait, but we can catch this guy. He's caught. And so now Chovy's like, oh shit, right? Like, I'm in an exposed situation, but Gnar is always going to TP to help
in
him.
hand. Let's
So
see
once
whether
they go, the Gnar TP comes. That is a very expected play, right?
can lock him down.
Renekton has now gone to TP. He's done whatever he can. He's done. That's it.
So much time for himself. Frozen Tomb does come down, and
That's
there's a
it by
Ring
the
of Frost to
Renekton
try
side.
and take him out, but he can buy
See whether we'll be able to get himself out of there. If he's moving over, does
does
have
he
the point in
flash?
hand. Let's see whether they can lock him down. The flash forward as Perfect looks to try.
Okay,
and
so
take
for
him
sure
out, but he
Renekton
can
doesn't
buy
have his
so
W
much
up
time.
yet. So like, I don't know why he's sticking around on
Frozen
top of
Tomb
the
does come
Lissandra.
down, and there's a Ring of Frost as well.
And Canyon's pretty much just using his ulti
Frozen Tomb does come
to like draw pressure. So like, this was fine. Like what Canyon did was perfectly fine. So then ask yourself, why does Renekton not just like, why did he go forward? I know you're caught, but like you should at least still try to extend this. By him doing what he's doing, he's just like, just kill me. And it's like, okay, we will. And then they still go for the flank on you guys. So it's like, you died for no reason, and you guys still get played on, and you die. And you know, it's probably the most obnoxious thing, like, again, playing against certain, like, picks, like Lissandra, where you think you can catch them, but they offer so much utility, especially in terms of, like, invulnerability, like, endurance, I guess you would call it endurance. They can endure a lot. And so you end up just wasting a ton of time, and then they're able to just match you, and you're like, oh. And once again, Perfect is just not really all that useful. Like, he really isn't. Like, we're getting into this end fight.
These members of GenG.
And I mean, like, this is like a last ditch effort, right? Like, they almost get ruler, kind of, but not enough. Then Chovy just kind of goes in and gets like an easy, like, return. She's defending pretty well.
All right, looking for the angle there. There's a wild growth on to Ruler, who
I mean, Cuzz dies. There's not like actually a lot of need for Chovy to necessarily go in, but it does lead to this guy dying, and then naturally Ruler like kind of gets baited, which kills him, which is kind of like how the fight gets sold at that point, right? And I mean, Ruler does have like Czar and everything. So like once this guy comes up, oh, like he was trying to anticipate it, but like he can't flash, just, like perfectly in this moment, so he kind of just dies. Man. I mean, like, it's all whatever. Like, that's them kind of selling it.
It didn't drastically change so it's going to be a delicate
The fight, the game is still winnable. Like, as funny as it is, the game is still winnable on KT side because of how strong Victor is. And Yunar can still do damage too, so it's like, it's not like you guys are useless, right? It's not like they're useless at all. It's just not going to be easy because you don't have any leverage with the map. And that's super worth it. I mean, the Kale CD is way longer than Lissandra are at this point, so they strip like the main CD off. Yeah, he gets exposed, they get the flash, there's no major objectives up, so like, they're just taking that freely. But they still want to play on that Lissandra R with the Kale's gone, if possible. But it seems like the defense is too hard, no Baron, Victor lasers coming down to clear the waves.
Now KT moving up this mid lane. Cuzz might be in a little bit of trouble. Does get snared momentarily as BDD actually dashing forward, looking for that Arcane Storm. It hasn't really done anything outside.
Yeah, as you can tell, like that's like the strength of Victor.
Shield is now the ulti
that's the strength of Victor, kind of messing with you.
As he gets in on top of the follow-up is very, very late. And now Keen from that top side finally shows up. As Chovy gets that claw forward.
Everyone's just kind of tossing abilities to create space. I mean, that's like the big thing you're seeing in this. Is like everyone's just kind of tossing shit, just kind of buying. But the only downside is that
and KT
for KT,
Mountain Shield
the Victor just doesn't do enough. Again, he has like 2 items that are pretty useless for him just being a monster. Actually, 3 items that are kind of useless for him being a monster, so that sucks. So Victor's not pumping. So the Zaya's not really under threat like the way she normally would be. It's like they have to back off. And once they back off, it's like, whoa, there's just no way. And now that they kind of entered this, like notice like the Nefiri kind of just killing the Renekton.
Cannot lose anyone though, otherwise it's just
like they know the Renekton's weak. So like this is also why like you see them just kind of like sending it on him.
control. Cuzz trying to get himself out there. He flashes to get away.
Why did he
Just
take
going to be
the
free
last-
Elders.
Perfect. He might be going down. Canyon managing to land those daggers.
Oh.
Slice and dice it. And Cuzz
Okay, I
trying to
thought it was
get
gonna be
out there. He flashes to get
effort
away.
screwing
Now 2G8
someone
for the
over
moment,
for a
keep themselves
third game in a
alive.
row
They do
with
wanna
a
take
blast
big
cone,
land. Canyon's dead. Cataclysm comes
which
in,
would have been
another
really
landing.
funny.
Perfect is now trying to fight this as he goes
Okay, this is like literally the
away.
only
Now
thing they
2G8
can't
these
do.
loyal
Because
members
GenG has
will
access to
keep
midway first, they have access
themselves
to
alive.
wave,
But they
and yet they
wanna
all
take
walk
those
into
big
Victor
cooldowns
for
and
no reason.
Canyon's dead.
And
Cataclysm comes in, and
they
it's
just
double
go
draining.
to
Perfect is now trying to fight this as he goes down to
So-
GA. And Ruler and Chovy and Kane, I think they're just going to try and look to end the game because they've lost their smite and Elder is up. BDD walking forward, looking for Ruler here.
That's so
Oh
funny,
my goodness, this
dude.
is so precarious. This is so
You
awkward.
guys are so
Because GenG
funny.
has just kind of obliterated the base. And so KT, they need someone to defend. They also need to take this Elder off the map before respawns come in.
Okay, Perfect's there. They should be able to defend this top inhibitor. 2 down. It's not good, but it's not the end of the game. And they now have the Elder secured, which...
Well, now
is a
these
big
guys can't do
disrespect.
shit. I mean, now they have Elder. Like,
This was such a fight. It was just
oh
disrespect
man,
of the
what are
Victor's damage
these
and the Chaos Sword, because the middle
games?
school was trying to take out
What are
Perfect.
these
At the end of
games
the
by
game,
these
this thing
teams?
The Blast Cone from Cuzz, I didn't quite
Like
see
everything was
exactly
so
what
well
happened,
played by
but Blast
GenG,
Dragons here.
up to the point
BDD
where
so
they
much
just
damage now.
like
Fire
literally
wall.
ran
Maybe
into
this
it
one
for
was
no
still not available
reason.
yet, but he kills 2. Canyon goes down before
And
he
it's
uses
like,
anything, and
why?
Ruler has to run away.
Like, why
The
would
size
you
of
do
it.
that?
Yeah, the double reset actually kind of gigantic for BDD. Able to really boost up that
So-
Chaos Storm, formerly now Arcane Storm.
This is one problem, is that KT have Elder Dragon absolutely want to fight if they take one right now.
Yes.
But GenG have Baron and 2 super minion waves pushing and will not fight you.
Yeah, it feels like an absolute stalemate, and we're just going to have to wait until the next Baron and Elder are available.
Yeah, it has more time for KT, but GenG have that permanent buff off the Mountain Dragon, which they feel very good about.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of wave clear that they can do pretty safely with Desire and Lysandra to thin it out. Might have to give up this tier 2. I think that's going to be the cost in this situation. It's not exactly a huge... Oh, yeah, more cost.
He is going to be put into the Cataclysm, has to flash himself out of the way. As there's the claw from Chovy, he ain't taking that one. That is a little bit too scary.
I mean, you gotta hand it to Cuzz. I mean, Cuzz is
Through the turret.
consistently
Down
finding
GenG,
sums
distracted KT away from the tower,
and
then they have to wait for another wave,
like
just buying more
getting
time.
things
That's how they
going
do it anyway.
still.
They are slowing
Like,
KT out once
I
they get the
mean,
power buff is gone, so they
he
don't have
is
that available.
that guy.
But it's 30
Like,
seconds. There's just one more wave coming in that KT
like I
has to
said,
play
it's
with. It
just
looks like they're not gonna sit around and wait
unfortunately
for that.
mid
The
build
Elder has
is
timed out. The
pretty
gold lead is closed by
terrible.
1,000, and KT, despite getting that all-powerful
Top
buff,
lane is
haven't
playing
been able to
Renekton
translate
this
with
late,
all.
no,
which
it's-
makes
oh,
him
flash from BDD,
typically pretty. What the?
7,000, and KT has been timed out. The gold lead is
Do they know this guy's
Power
here?
buff is gone, so they don't have that available. But it's 30 seconds. There's just one more
I mean, he
wave coming in that
separated
KT have to
himself
play
from the
with, and it looks like
squad.
they're not even going to sit around and
And
wait for that.
the Fury
The Elder has
knows
been
that he didn't
timed
enter
out.
his zone.
The gold lead is closed by 1,000, and KT, despite getting that all-powerful buff, haven't been able to translate into too much on.
Oh no! It's
Wow.
Flash from BDD.
That was
Still able to get
well
on the wall,
played
but
by
he's still
Canyon,
able
I
to do a
guess.
lot of
Like,
damage before he dies. Nobody
ooh,
answers.
that's a
Massive
lot of
throws a tomb on
damage.
himself. He goes golden as well. And now Duro gets in there, but everyone does make themselves scarce, gets out of the way, but the Lulu not going to survive. Aiming
That's
trying to
it.
fight
That's
this
the
one,
game.
he's gonna kill the doggo, but now everyone else is dead. And Aiming will be able to chase down Duro
Crazy.
potentially. The Lulu will be there with the
Crazy
damage.
game.
And Aiming just
Okay.
realizing that he has to train. They have lost
That's
the
for sure the game. I think this game for sure Canyon was pretty good. I do think it's probably between Chovy. It's probably between Chovy and dude. Am I really gonna leave him out again? No, I'm not. Like I was gonna say Duro actually had a pretty good game. But like I can't leave out Ruler. I mean, like Ruler had 3 consistently pretty good games, right? Like all 3 games, like he was a guy like that was getting a lot done. So like not to include him in an MVP would be pretty egregious by me. But it is true that Chovy put a ton of work into this game. He really was that guy too. I think watching GenG is like, yes, they are still the kind of team where they're very obnoxious in terms of like laners are very good. If the game is stable, like you can't let the game be stable. Like if you let it be stable versus these guys, they're kind of just gonna creep up and beat you. Like it's you just very obnoxious. But if you make the game messy, if you start kind of like altering lanes more, affecting lanes more, they're not the best at just like matching that always. Which I mean, again, you're playing with Cuzz, so like that gave them an avenue. Effort also looked quite better when like they're doing like something like with the Camille roaming around. But when they get slots like locked into these lanes, like despite BDD growing a advantage, despite Perfect like again in the beginning at least outlaning the Gnar, it just wasn't enough. Like it was just too close for GenG to play off of. And I will say, like, the way Chovy does kind of like actively soft contest you in zones, so obnoxious. Then there was some really good fight approaches by GenG in the series overall, so it was interesting. I don't feel like these teams were unbeatable by any means, like when watching them, to be honest, but damn, there are some very interesting ideas they have for fights.